All right. It seems like every time we're recording,
You're
literally like always send it in text.
Bro, yeah. I mean, are you gonna read it out loud?
Yes. Come at 5, filming second
Unless it was from
episode.
Unless it was from a chick friend.
No.
You're not reading that shit out loud.
No. I have no chick friends. But
Excellent segue.
But I made her.
And I bet you did. I would have never thought otherwise. Bro, you shoot yourself on the face, bro. Like, you set yourself up for these fucking low-hanging fruit ass comebacks I have.
Before the record, I don't have a type.
Yeah.
No, I really don't. I really don't.
No way, bro.
And I don't know.
Anyone that watches this shit for 5 minutes knows that your type.
I know I don't have a type.
You don't have a type.
Hold on, because this is what I'm gonna do right now. So when I was visiting mom and I was in Deerfield, Janeiro, one thing I did notice as I was
referring to all of the Brazilians in Florida right now.
In Deerfield Beach specifically, Big Apple Pizza's now a Brazilian bakery. There's Brazilian banks, car dealerships.
Wow.
You go like
it used to be Cubans. Now it's Brazilians.
Cubans a little further south. Ooh, so that's like Miami, Kendall.
Okay. Yes, Miami.
There,
okay.
but I'm
true.
No. My area. So when I moved out there in '98, it was all old white people. Even my mother called them like my mother and my auntie, they called them Q-tips. And that's coming from other white people. So
wait. How white are these people? Well, other white people refer to them as Q-tips.
And the reason why they call them Q-tips is because they're very old and they just have white heads. So they just have white hair because of their age. So, they move slow, they got around slow, but that was a part where a lot of people.
Your mom's not white, bro. That your mom is not white. That doesn't come from white people. She's got some
Mexican lineage.
She has some spicy in her, bro. I'm telling you. You're like, that's so
it's
dope.
The Italian side, maybe.
There you go.
The Italian or the Irish side, I don't know.
Something.
Either way. But
Q-tips.
So in '98, Q-tips. I mean, it might as well be they might as well call the neighborhood like Schwab or like Cotton. I don't know.
God.
But
damn.
But so here's my theory. A lot of them passed away.
Okay.
And then their children, grandchildren, inherited the property. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were like, well, I'm not moving here. So they ended up taking the property and then just selling. Mm. And what happened was throughout that time, I believe there were a lot of, just Brazilian people in the market, buying those homes. And then you know how it is, like how a lot of these communities grow, it'll be like a family or a small community, and they're like, yo, come, because my guess is if you go to if I went to if I moved to Japan, and let's just say there was a little pocket where I knew some people would speak English, or you can
more people start coming in there and it grows. Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what happened. And then now fast forward, you're talking 27 years later.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
So now. Yep. You go and I'm in the gym and people are speaking Portuguese.
That's cool. That's cool.
So
kind of.
So I say all that to say, as I was in Deerfield, Janeiro working out, I thought about you, and I'm like, there's no Asian girls in this gym. So I don't have a type because let's just say I was in the market for a relationship or something.
Okay.
I would not be like, oh man, there's all they got is these Brazilians. I'd be like a kid in a candy store.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Right. So
but do you have a preference? Like, for example, it is undeniable the fact that candy.
I like a strong pulse. I'm not on that Eddie Gaines shit. You know what I mean? I like a strong pulse.
Yeah, that's a great start. But you have to have a preference, right? Like you at some point, did you ever or were you ever like, hey, you know what? Like, yes, all women, right? But if there's, like this specific type of, or this, I don't know, Asian, Russian, Polish, Italian, Mexican, Brazilian, Argentinian, like, did you ever have a preference? Where like, I would love to, date a girl that was Colombian or whatever. Or was it ever like, well, whatever presents itself, I'll evaluate the situation at the time and yes or no. I feel like that's a loaded question. I'm setting you up. Yes.
Well, if we go back to the history of my life.
Oh God.
I typically was in the market for what I had access to and awareness of. Meaning, like in New York, for instance, when I was at that age where I was dating, it was mostly you had your options between like mostly Black and Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So
true.
Like I never really thought of any other races as options. Like I never even thought about dating a white girl because I didn't even know one. Like I didn't actually have like white friends besides family until I went to college.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I think there's a certain psychology where you think like I'm just like, oh, white girls won't like me because I never dated them, didn't know many, or didn't identify with them.
Okay, gotcha.
There was a moment in time where it was like I would never think of like dating anybody of like Asian descent because I also thought they had zero interest in me.
Ah, okay. So that came from like within. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I guess with experience, you you start to realize
with experience you can bag any of them.
you start to realize like if you're in certain parts of LA or if you're in certain parts, you almost identify more as, I don't want to say like American, but like you're more of a certain culture.
Sure.
Meaning like, okay, we listen to similar music, we enjoy similar things because, so then that actually allows you to date people because you think of like hip hop and originally, you might think like Black or Hispanic, but that's a culture that now Asian people embrace. Like people of all ethnicities embrace that culture. So I think what happens now is just because of how culture is, I've been able to date. You realize you have a lot more in common with people of all different races.
Yeah. I get that.
As opposed to, there's this point in like, and honestly, like, I feel like a fish out of water when I'm in Deerfield Beach, because my assumption is those Brazilian girls probably want to date other people who's predominantly Brazilian and speak Portuguese because they're in America, yes, but they're in their comfortable
culture and bringing it.
Yeah. So it's more so. I think when it comes to dating, now it's less about race or type, but it's like, do we have a lot in common? Are you a good,
some of the walls came down for sure.
And are you a good human being?
Do you have a pulse?
And I need at least a good 55 beats per minute. Nothing above 80 because then I don't trust you.
Why don't you trust someone with above 80?
Man, they're either a rabbit or lying. All the time. And,
like, damn, girl, you constantly have anxiety.
And yes, I need like a 55 to 80 BPM.
Okay. That's
a
wild requirement. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but that's neither here nor there.
Bro, before we go into the main theme, I gotta say a story.
We're gonna have a theme?
Yeah, we have a question.
Oh shit, we're
gonna address like the last episode.
Reddit question.
The Reddit bandit strike again. And it's my experience the first time I went to Miami. Hella racist.
What year was this?
2007. Okay. 2008.
Okay.
Ish.
And
I went for the Tampa Am Pro Skater competition.
So you were in Tampa.
Yes, but I was in Tampa. Then we made our way out to Miami just to explore.
Now, did you experience the racism in Tampa or Miami?
Miami.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was bad, dude.
What kind of
bad?
Because you were not Cuban?
Because I was not Cuban.
Yeah.
There were there were parking lots that said Cuban-only. Others will be towed. I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah,
and they asked my dad, like, hey, are you Cuban? My dad was like, no, we're Mexican. Like, nope, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And I've never experienced that type of like, you know, like, because there's different types of Spanish, right? Argentinian Spanish and Mexican Spanish and Guatemalan and Salvador Spanish, Spaniard Spanish, right? Like Castilian Spanish. They're all different. And there's like little different nuances. You can tell who they're
dialects
from.
and
right. So when you, like, it was the first time ever where like I was speaking Mexican Spanish, but like proper Mexican. And then like, they were like, ugh. I'm like, what? I don't understand you. You know, like it was that shit where I was like, yo, like they played the Uno reverse card on me. You know?
So all right. Now I have a question, because you know how sometimes they'll be like, because you're speaking English and they're like, oh, you talk ghetto or you talk white or you whatever the case may be. What, like, when it's different, like Mexican versus Puerto Rican or Mexican versus Cuban, like ew, what does that mean? Like, oh, you speak, what would be
it was in like, and again, this was the racism I kind of experienced. It was like, oh, you're Mexican. That shit. I'm like, you know, like making fun of the way we talk. I'm like, but we make fun of the way you talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just kind of like things like, hey, we're kind of, it's like the Spider-Man meme, you know, like where you're like, they're pointing at you. Like, it was that shit where it's like, yo, we're both speaking Spanish. Why are we shitting on each other? Like, right? Because when I said we make fun of, like, the Mexican people technically do, I guess, and vice versa, but like not me. I wasn't sitting there like shitting on like how Cubans or Puerto Ricans speak Spanish. Like, I'm a big fan of just Spanish in general. Like, I think in Spanish, and then it comes out in English as I'm translating it. But I think primarily in Spanish, and and you know, and stuff.
And you can even, in some instances, you can even pass for Cuban. So it's not
Puerto Rican.
Yeah. So it's not even because I know everybody's fucking racist. Like you have community, like in Colombia, you have the people from Cologne where they're like dark and look like black people, and they're like, oh yeah, black. Yeah, and they're racist against, and then in Mexico, like, oh, you're dark, or you're
There's classism everywhere, bro.
Classism, you know, like the darker you are, you must be working in the field type shit. Like,
hate it, bro.
So when you think about it, even from like a visual standpoint, they're just like, man, you fucking even though you could be one of us, you Mexican, we don't like you.
No, dude, straight up, like even like, for example, it's crazy because like I'm from Mexico, okay, so like grew up there pretty fucking long time, and like people like me there, like the light skinned, colored eyed dudes, they call them fresas, which means strawberry in English. Like, oh, you delicate motherfucker, right? You don't know anything about like the hardships that I'm like, bitch, you don't know nothing.
You can't work the field, bro.
Like, bro, I didn't know that was a flex. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to move away from that. And like, so there's that type of shit all the time. And it was one of those things where like, I've experienced it in Mexico, never experienced it in the US, where I'm like, oh, y'all are the same. Like, you guys are just as racist every, like, you know, all the bunch of other motherfuckers that I've dealt with. And it was just it was just wild, because even my dad was like, whoa, never coming here again. And sure enough, never has stepped foot in Miami again. We've never been to Florida again. Like, it was just so like off-putting, man, like where it was just like tense, and it was just like, well, who's Cuban? Let's not go there, right? Oh, there's a Cuban restaurant.
Oh, you can't, and you can't avoid it. Like, you go to
it's
Kendall,
everywhere. It's everywhere.
Like, I have such a hard time because I'm not fluent in Spanish, and you go somewhere and they just start speaking Spanish, and if you don't speak English, you're like, "Fuck is your problem?"
Like you're in my turn.
I can't help you. I better learn some words.
Okay, so we're gonna bounce into the first Reddit Bandit theme.
All right, before we get to Reddit Bandits, let's just bang out this intro. We don't even be having.
No, we don't even have intros anymore, bro.
It'd be such a like, we got no enthusiasm. Like, let's just get this shit out the way, man. Fucking intro taking up this precious time.
It really did.
I'm Erik. This is Pablo. We're Unculturable.
Are you ready?
Boom.
Let's go! Pablo and Erik are Unculturable!
Okay, so back to the theme, right?
Reddit
Bandits,
let's go.
strike again.
We are the Reddit Bandits.
Okay.
So the question this time, right, that we saw last night was, can guys or can anyone have a best friend or really good friends of the opposite sex without it being anything more? Right. That's something that I feel like a lot of relationships struggle with. People talk about. I see a lot of. Right. And I obviously have my personal experience. So does my wife. And I'm sure you do too. So let's kick things off there is, what do you think? Do you think a guy can have a best friend that's a girl and vice versa?
Well, I know firsthand you can. I mean, like literally like in junior high school, my best friend Jamila. I mean, we even went to the junior high school prom together.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Never kissed. Never did anything. Like, I mean, never.
Yeah.
Like I literally, like, even the thought of it is like, ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I know firsthand, and also like I don't want to say most of my life, but there were a lot of instances where I had like my core crew of guys. And then I would find myself like being the only person from my hood in high school, or the only person in a certain place from where I'm from.
Yep.
So I actually would befriend women. Like it was easier for me to have women that were friends than like be cool with guys.
Yeah.
And so I definitely know firsthand, like I have, a lot of great friends, some who will be on this show and, I've never done anything with. And conversely, like I've been in relationships where I enter the relationship and my girlfriend would have guy friends. And she never did anything with them and vice versa. And I'm secure enough where I respect it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to throw a wrench in that shit real fast, but I too.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you didn't cut me off. But like, don't get me wrong. I know people be like, "Oh yeah, that's just my homegirl."
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Like, so I know, so I know it's possible, but I also know,
but tread carefully, right? Same thing here. I too believe you can have best friends of the opposite sex. I've had a ton of chick friends that were just friends, right? My best friend in college, when I first started college, her name was Ashley. She was Puerto Rican. We connected because I thought she was white and she thought I was white, and we were waiting in a test line to take a test together. And my mom called me and I started speaking Spanish. She's like, I thought you were white. I'm like, I thought you were white. And she started speaking to me in like Spanish, but like Puerto Rican. I'm like, oh shit, fuck yeah. So she like introduced me to like Puerto Rican food. I was mad cool with her mom. Again, never anything between us. The thought of it makes me throw up, right? She was awesome and beautiful and whatever. But again, it was just like one of those things where like the vibe was harder than anything else.
Yeah.
And we were just really fucking solid friends. And I had friends after that were women too. And that, again, the thought never even crossed my mind.
No.
So it can happen. But the wrench I'm going to throw,
Okay.
right, it's...
And I was already in a relationship.
Or they've already diddled, they've already diddied, you know what I'm saying? A little bit. So what do you feel then? Like, imagine you're in a relationship, you're with the girl, she's like, babe, that's just my best friend. And then like, have y'all done shit? Like, yeah, but it was like years ago.
I can answer that. Cause I'm a hypocritical, double standard having motherfucker. So me, it's cool. Like if I did something with a friend and now we like best friends,
that's okay.
it need to be okay.
But it's not okay if she does it?
No. I mean, don't get me wrong, like,
bro, yeah, that is hell double standard.
I mean, it is a double standard, but it's
why though? Like, at least give us some reason.
Nah, there is no reason. Like there's no reason. It's a matter of,
oh god,
you see my level of immaturity on the last episode, and that's that immaturity I'm bringing to this episode.
Nice.
Because it really comes down to, do I, again, from personal experience, do I believe that you can have maybe had some type of interaction with somebody and then truly be friends? 1,000%, because I know from personal experience. And, and actually one of my, best friends who I confide in, and you know, is literally almost like family at this point in time. Where I even forget that shit happened.
Wow.
You know, like holds me down better than, you know, like family. And like, so I can't take that away. And also it was one of those things, like if I was in a relationship and I was with somebody who's like, you can't fuck with her no more, I'd be like, I can't fuck with you. Because I'm like, you know, there's times when it's
There's
like,
history. There's a lot of history here.
but and it's less of because you do have the situations where people just don't know how to let go.
Okay,
Because you have people that just be holding on to these relationships for whatever type of sentimental value or nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, you know, my personal situation where we probably should have always been friends to begin with.
So it was like a mistake.
You know, and like did it and then was like, but cared for each other enough. And so now you're talking about this is over 10 years of not having really done anything and just being friends and showing each other how we're there for each other.
Got it.
So it's one of those situations where if I was in a relationship with a woman who had that, I mean, in an ideal scenario, no, that's not the case, because it's like, hey, if I have to pick and choose, it's like, yeah, I want to be your first boyfriend. I want to be your first kiss.
God damn, bro.
Like, I'll teach you.
I'll teach you.
Don't worry, I'm a great instructor.
Oh my God.
You know,
bro.
between YouTube and other channels. Yeah, get you right. But
have you ever seen the movie Grind? The movie Grind. It's like a skateboarding movie back in the day.
Oh, back in the day.
Back in the day. So there's this dude, I think his name was like Sweet Lou. And he was like, you know, he's always hanging around the skate park by the high school or whatever. And he was like, bro, you know, he's always having girlfriends and they're all like 18. Like on some Leonardo DiCaprio shit, but like at 18, not 25. He was like, dude, why do you do that? He was like, because I keep getting older and like, you know, the crops just start coming in and they're just 18. And, you know, basically it's like new crops come in, bro. I'm and like, that's what that's true. Like I get older, but they stay the same age.
I mean, we'll see. But no, like, so in the grand scheme of things, it's like if you're in a relationship, because this is just rules for success in any relationship, you have to be with somebody who's secure.
Sure.
You need to be secure.
Yep.
And you have to have that trust.
100%.
So you could throw in any type of variable into that situation. And if you both are secure, have trust, you'll be okay.
Yep.
But it always gets a little tricky when one of those things are missing on either end.
Yeah.
Because then that's just ultimately going to create problems and be like the beginning of the end unless 100%. You get therapy or grow, you know, above that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's tricky when you're young because you don't know how to rationalize it or be like, oh, I get it. I understand a mature adult relationship, right? Of, you know, because when you're 18, you're like, my guy's the best friend. Bitch, what? You know, like, what do you mean? Like, no, it's me or him type shit. And I feel like when you get older, for example, like, if Rosie would have told me some shit like that, I think it would have bugged me, but I would have worked past it. Right? Yeah. I would have been like, you know, well, okay, it's been like 10 years. You guys are clearly just friends. I see it. And I'm not going to deny you a friendship because of my insecurities.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I would like that to be reciprocated because myself, I have chick friends that I talk to and that's all it's ever been. And it's been like that for 15 years. Right? Again, the thought never crossed any one of our minds. Like it's a bro. It's a bro, right? It's a homie. So I can appreciate a good relationship, a good friendship, and overall just like someone good to hang out with. And if either of us can get that, why would the other one take that away? In whatever shape or form it comes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And also think about like the amazing life that you and Rosie have built together.
Yeah.
And think about how stupid.
Yeah. It would be stupid.
It would be if you didn't have any of this because one of her friends that you can actually trust her with, there was a history there, or whatever the case may be. Like that would almost be such a shame. There'd be no Enzo, there'd be no Finn. Like I wouldn't.
And she had that.
I wouldn't have my cookies. You know?
We wouldn't be recording this podcast probably. Of course.
So, but you make those concessions for the right person.
100%.
Because also the same shit that I would let slide for the one. You know, like I'm not playing that shit if you ain't. you know, it's it's like the rules are different. Like you're not the one, so I'm gonna hold you to maybe a different standard. I don't know.
Because sometimes you're like, you know what? Maybe like I trust, like hypothetically, right? If it was you, I trust the guy, but I don't trust you. Right? I don't trust that you wouldn't do some shit given the right circumstance, etc. Right? So I think it does kind of go into a trust thing, right? Like, hey, do I trust you enough to know that when I'm not around, this is not anything else other than what you say it is, right? Because when I met Rosie, her best friend was Nick, and I love Nick. Me and him got closer than they were. You know what I'm saying? And he had known her, like they had known each other since like 6th grade, right? In Spanish class. And like when I met Nick, it was like instant connection. He was a musician. He was a rapper. We were writing. We were making music. We were hanging out. We were working out, and we were doing all this shit, right? So I'm like, oh, I trusted that immediately because I'm like, oh, he's a good character guy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you said, it would have been such a fucking shame had I walked into that relationship and like killed any future of it and anything that came from it because of my insecurities, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
No.
You know who's more troublesome than... let me just get us canceled right now.
Okay, please.
You know who's more troublesome than someone of the opposite sex?
Someone of the same sex.
That likes the opposite gender. like do not trust your girl around a lesbian. Those girls have the best fucking game. Like there's so many times
the walls are down.
Like you think
that's true.
Like I don't know, I get credit for being a talker. I aspire to be like a lesbian sometimes. Bro. Or I don't even know if that's the right word, so sorry, but I mean I love you all, and I want to be like you. And sometimes they're like the fucking coolest people in the world, and I'm like goals,
bro.
You think Sun Jin Woo got the aura? Some of these girls be aura farming. Like
I'm just saying,
like nobody's business. Girls be straight. Like
yeah.
You know what? For tonight though.
I know a couple. Let me just put it that way. I know a couple personally, and I'm a funny story. So I just like to be friends with good people.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're straight, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're anything. I could care less. It's none of my business. If you're happy,
you could be a feeder.
Yeah, you could be a feeder, a feedie,
a furry.
Yeah, I don't know. I might draw the line at furries. But I'm just kidding.
We love our furries.
I love anyone.
I mean, you're the one who got these mics, these little furry ass mics.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You can let the world know, Pablo. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I love all kinds of people as long as you're a good person.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. Are you a good, genuine person I can care about and trust and have fun with and be my authentic self with, etc. And so it was like early college days, one of my good friends was like gay, right? And nothing wrong with that. In fact, I loved it. And I loved how open he was and how not caring about what anyone thought he was. Because he wore the makeup. He wore the lipstick. He had the fucking like face full of makeup and hair done. And, you know, like fucking smelled like a fruit basket and shit. Like the whole fucking 9 yards.
Yeah.
And I loved it, right? His name was Chris Sapphire. He's still doing shit. He was actually in The Circle. In the show The Circle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think he was like on season 1. His name is Chris Sapphire. That was my good friend.
I've watched the first few seasons, so I've definitely seen him.
Yeah. So him. He was my good friend in Dallas in the early college days. He was he wanted to do music, and we were kind of working through it and whatever. And he was like, "Hey man, you want to hang out? Let's go have dinner." I'm like, "Fuck it, man. Yeah, like I'm never gonna say no to food." You know me, feedy attitude, right? And I was like, so we went to for life, baby,
for life.
I might have an account just tonight if I already don't have it, because And but like, so we went to this Mexican restaurant. It was called Los Lupes, and we were just hanging out. We were talking about music and just, hey man, how's life and how are you doing and what song do you want to make and how do you want to shoot a video and blah. And like, all right, cool. And then like my parents walked in.
Your like, Mexican parents.
My old school, traditional, farmhouse ass parents walked into the restaurant and was like,
You heard the records?
Pablo? You know? And I was like, oh, hey, mom. Like, and of course, like, I acted like nothing because to me, this is like,
It was
this is
nothing.
my good friend.
Yeah.
What the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is Chris. Hey, Chris, dad. Here's mom and dad, right? My sister was like fucking, I don't know, like 3 or 4. She's 18 now, so it's been a while. But like, you know, we were just hanging out, and you know, I presented to my parents, and oh, great, okay, cool, you know. And then I got home like a few hours later, and my dad was like, "Yo, is there anything you have to tell me?"
I was like, I know it's your pops.
Yeah. You know, my dad immediately like, "Yo, like, yeah, is there something you would like to tell us?" I'm like, "Oh, dinner was great. You know, I had the enchiladas. Try them next time." You know. And
Did you know what he was implying?
100%. I was just fucking with him, right? You know, and I was like, I think I even said like the enchiladas were great. You need to try them hells next time. They're fucking banging. He's like, no, you know, it's like, you know, the fella you were with in Spanish.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's Chris. What's going on? Nothing. He's my friend. Or, you know, he's like disappointed. I'm like, why are you disappointed? He's like, 'cause if you're just gay, just I'm like, oh my, and I knew it immediately. I'm like, dude, it's, you know, 2010 or whatever the fuck it was, or you know, in 11. It's fine. Like, he's just my friend, and like they actually got past it like pretty immediately. Like, oh, okay, well, we just didn't know. Let us know. And we thought you had something to tell us. And they actually, so it was actually opposite of what I thought. They felt the need to ask me if I needed to open up about something because they felt that they had not made it safe enough for me to come out.
That's nice.
They're like, hey, if we did, you know, like they were basically guilt tripping themselves, going like, hey, have we not made things comfortable?
We've been depriving our son of him being able to be open about his sexuality.
Right. And so that threw a curveball to me because I'm like, I was not expecting that, right? Because I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's respect.
So I was like, yo, since then, like, you know, it's been, I'm like, oh, okay, so my parents are open-minded, if that were the case. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right? Which was pretty awesome for me. But nonetheless, he was a great friend, and like I just loved having him around. I haven't spoken to him in a really long time though. But yeah, man, like again, just random things. Like, and he was my friend when I met Rosie, right? It would have been like, because you said, oh, well, a girl with the lesbian, we're like, well, a guy with the gay dude.
Yeah.
Would be the complete opposite.
Oh yeah, no, I you know, and I always love to talk shit no matter what the dynamic of any of my relationships are. And, you know, shout out to my guy Matt. And, you know, good friend. He, you know, he had his boyfriend. He's gay. He's like 6 something. And, you know, we always used to hang out. And I'm like, Matt, you know how much I like you? And he's like, how much? I'm like, because every time I'm seen with you, people think you're fucking me in my ass. Like,
I like you against those odds, baby.
Because I'm like, bro, in
spite of that.
like I'm like, that's how secure I am in myself, but that's how much I like you. That I don't give a fuck if they're thinking that stuff.
Yeah, Erik must be the top.
You know, but like, you know, when you are like, people naturally just make assumptions.
Sure.
Period. You know, there's even times when, and maybe because I'm always in my head, like there's times when I'm with like my white mom, I'm like, man, do people think I'm the black guy hitting on old white women?
Bro, I mean, I would have put it past
as
them.
I'm holding, you know, because sometimes we just be holding hands. I'm like, man, do they think I'm fucking this woman? Like, this is my mother, man. Like, this is my mother, people. Like, stop. You're fucking disgusting.
Bro, y'all need to go out with name tags.
Like, right? Like, mom, son.
I'm like, yeah.
Gay, straight.
Bro, imagine if like
just friends.
Like, if someone like you had the mom and son one, you're like, they're role playing too.
Yeah, so you know, other lesson is like,
shit.
You know, like who you like, and don't let your own insecurities get in the way of good friendships and good relationships, and you know, really be open to just having good human beings 100%. In your life.
Yeah, talking about cool people. Birkley, if you call me Pedro one more time.
Oh, it was by accident?
I don't know. Maybe
no, it's definitely by accident. It is that. It is by accident.
No, I'm just giving her a fucking just a hard time. I'm just giving the situation a hard time, and
I know. I
it's
love
funny.
it. I love
It's
it.
like I read the comment like, "Hey Pedro," I'm like, "My name is Pablo." Whoa, it's not Pedro. Like,
Birkley, don't ever call Pablo, okay? Let's keep
it
this.
might be just an insider trade at this point, man. My goodness.
Yeah.
I thought that was shit. I was laughing in the
Shout
car.
out to Birkley.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just unapologetically me. And I love to see other people being unapologetically them.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, and it takes, no matter what your situation is, it takes bravery to do that, because, you know, whether you live a corporate job or, you know, whatever the case may be, it's like and cancel culture. It's like you're always trying to impress people that ain't gonna do shit for you, that don't fucking matter. And it's like, so just live your life.
100%, man. And just like, what is a corny ass quote? You know, like just live and let live or something like that.
Yeah.
Just like, it's none of your business.
Yeah. And most of the time, people don't care. Like you think people give a fuck?
You think you're the center of the universe.
Ain't nobody think about me. Like I'm the self-conscious person. Like, you know, I don't want to take my fucking shirt off at the pool, and don't nobody give a fuck. Honestly,
Nobody, like, they don't even know you're at the pool.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
God damn, man, that's just fucking funny. Jesus Christ, I'm sweating again, bro. I was gonna take my shirt off, and then you took your. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to take my shirt off anymore. Like, I need to work out.
We could trade. I could put my hoodie on. You take the jacket off.
Nah, it's all right. I already feel depressed. Okay, man. Well,
just assume.
did we ever get to an answer? I mean, we did get the answer, right?
The answer is
It's totally fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Totally fine if you are talking to any person and they have someone of the opposite or whatever sex they're attracted to or whatever gender they're attracted to, right? Or someone of how would you phrase that?
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't even want to put a label on it. It's like, you know, it's can you just have friends of the opposite sex? I guess it's the only way I guess I can put it.
I mean, can you just have friends?
Or can you just have friends, right?
Can
Like,
you
maybe that's the
just
politically correct way to say
friends?
it. Yeah.
Because I mean, you remove gender from it,
True.
like there's friends that is like you should not be fucking with that person.
Yeah, just straight up at a personal level.
You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, that's true.
So at the end of the day, choose your friends wisely and only make the choices based on the content of their character. Nothing else.
Yeah. Okay, we have 5 minutes. So I'm gonna
already? That was 40?
That was 40.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So then what you got?
Okay. So to close it out, right? I'm gonna ask you just a question that kind of stemmed off this one a little bit.
Okay.
Because we're talking about the whole sex part of, hey, you trust them, right? That's like involves like sex and nature and stuff. Okay. What would you do, or would you be friends with, or how would you handle a situation where like your partner is friends with a toxic person? So not necessarily, someone you're attracted to or that finds you attractive, them attractive. It's more so, yo, this guy is toxic. He's poison. You shouldn't be friends with him. And they've been friends for like a long time. How do you handle that? Like, do you just, you know what, maybe this doesn't work out because I know you're not gonna let that go, and I don't want to be the asshole that makes you choose? Or is it something that you say, hey man, like, I think they're bad people?
You know, fortunately, I've never.
Like it's a lose-lose.
Fortunately, I've never been in that situation.
Oh, nice.
Like I guess there was a relationship that I was in where we had both recently let go of the two toxic people that were in our lives.
Oh, that's great.
So it wasn't like, hey, you need to let that person go. Hey, you need to let that person go.
Yeah.
But you know, that's a very touchy subject because
it is.
If somebody is in your life that's toxic and introducing those things into their life, one, you have to know now you're going to invite that into your life.
Right.
So you have to be that toxicity, you have to be willing to allow to bleed into your life and your peace of mind. And then also, by no means I'm a psychologist or anything like that, but then I'm like, well, what is it in you that you would actually want to keep that person in your life? So then I
What
start.
if they were like childhood friends? Hey, I can't let go. It's too much history. We've seen each other grow up, right? Same sex or not, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It's more of like, hey, you like, this person sucks.
I've let people go for less.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? It's like it's tough. My advice is just if
Select
there's anybody
carefully.
toxic in your life, you have to realize that their toxicity is now a part of your life, and just be aware of it, because don't woe is me after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, accept responsibility for what you receive out of that situation, for better or for worse.
True. Yeah.
But my advice is don't do it. But it's tough because it's the same thing like with children and situations where you know better, but sometimes people just need to learn. Like, don't touch the stove, it's hot. But eventually you got to feel that heat to know it's going to burn you. And
That's
you're
what I
like,
learned.
okay, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yep.
And in a lot of instances, because what happens is, I think when you have toxic people in your life, it's sometimes it's out of love and you want to give them the benefit. Think of like alcoholism or drug abuse or any type of sickness. Sometimes it's not always the immaturity of just someone being toxic, because some people are just bad and because that's what the fuck that's the lane and that's what they want to play.
Yeah.
But you have situations where, people are trying to do good and they want to be better, but they can't.
Yeah,
or they just need the help. And it's tough because you, out of love, you don't want to just be like, sorry, you're on your own, or I can't fuck with you.
Yeah.
You want to help them. So it's
I guess it depends also what phase they're in.
it's a very tough situation.
Yeah.
Toxic people need love too, but that don't mean you got to be the one to give it to them.
Yeah. Or like just assorted a time limit or assign it a time limit, right? Like, hey man, like everyone goes through ups and downs. That's normal. You're human, right? But it's also like, okay, man, it's been like 6 years. Get your shit together or get the fuck out type of vibe, I guess I'm going for at that point. Cause like, I don't have time to like, I'm always gonna be there for my friends. But then there's a point where like, all right, bro, even me being there is not helping. So what do I do here, right? I'm out of moves. And if you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped. So at that point, it's like, man, like I start making executive decisions here.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Reminds me of the Charlie Sheen story.
Have you seen the doc?
Absolutely.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
I guess maybe what you do is keep giving them crack and just a little bit less and less
Placebo crack.
and less at a time until
That's
you
right.
know, this shit ain't for me no more.
This shit doesn't even hit anymore, man. I'm out.
And then maybe all of a sudden they no longer
The
toxic.
wildest approach, by the way.
Yeah.
To stop a cocaine addiction is, hey, I'm gonna give you like, it's 80% cocaine, 60% cocaine, and then like
Over
just
2 years.
over
like,
2 years until you don't feel shit anymore.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Anyways, all right, guys. That concludes for today's Reddit Bandits section.
Say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs. Peace.
Later.